Before you pump gas again, you need to hear this. Because what most drivers do in the 60 seconds before refueling is quietly wrecking their fuel system, confusing sensors, and costing them hundreds in repairs they'll never connect to that one habit. Last week, a customer brought in a 2020 Honda CR-V with only 52,000 miles. Check engine light on, rough idle, fuel smell in the cabin. The bill was $1,400, all because of something she did before every single fill-up that seemed completely harmless. In this video, I'm showing you the 8 things you should never do before refueling, why they destroy engines faster than you think, and the correct pre-fuel routine that prevents thousands in damage. Mistake number 8, not checking your fuel door area for damage or debris. You walk up to the pump, pop the fuel door, and immediately start unscrewing the cap. But here's what you're missing. That fuel door area collects road salt, mud, dirt, and grime. When you twist that cap open without checking, all that debris falls straight down into your filler neck. Some of it stops at the restrictor plate. The rest rides down with the fuel splash as your tank fills. Modern fuel injectors have clearances under 10 microns. A grain of sand is 100 microns. When that dirt circulates through your system, it loads your fuel filter faster, makes your pump work harder, and eventually reaches those injector screens. The result is gradual power loss, rough idle under load, and a fuel filter that needs replacement twice as often as it should. A fleet manager I know tracks this religiously. His drivers wipe the cap area before every fill-up. His fuel filter replacement intervals are 30% longer than industry average, takes 5 seconds, saves $500. Mistake number 7, refueling with a nearly empty tank in extreme heat. You're running on fumes in the middle of summer. Gauge below empty. Warning light glowing. You pull into the station thinking you're fine because you made it. But when your tank is nearly empty in high heat, the fuel pump is sitting in hot vapor instead of cool liquid fuel. Electric fuel pumps are designed to be submerged. The fuel cools the motor and lubricates internal components. When the pump runs dry in 95-degree weather, internal temperatures spike. The motor windings heat up. Metal components expand. Over time, this thermal cycling cracks solder joints and burns out brushes. According to Bosch, running below a quarter tank in summer heat reduces pump life by up to 40%. A fuel pump replacement costs $700 to $1,100 depending on your vehicle. The fix is simple. In summer, refuel at the half-tank mark. In winter, you can stretch to a quarter tank. Your pump stays cool. Your wallet stays full. Mistake number 6, not letting a hot engine cool before refueling after hard driving. You just finished a highway drive or towing a trailer. Engine's hot. Coolant fans running. You pull straight into the gas station and start pumping. From a mechanical standpoint, nothing's wrong with this. From a vapor and sensor standpoint, everything is. A hot engine means a hot fuel system. The fuel in your lines, rail, and tank is warmer than normal. When you open that gas cap, you're releasing pressurized hot vapor. That vapor confuses your fuel tank pressure sensor, which is trying to read ambient conditions. Some vehicles log this as an evap fault. The check engine light comes on for what looks like a leak, but it's just confused sensor readings from thermal shock. Even worse, if you're topping off while everything's hot, you're forcing cold fuel into a hot tank. The temperature difference creates condensation on the tank walls. That moisture eventually makes its way to your fuel pump pickup. Water and fuel causes rust, injector damage, and rough running. Let the car sit for 5 to 10 minutes after a hard drive before refueling. Let the fans finish their cycle. Let the fuel system stabilize. Your sensors will thank you. Mistake number 5, ignoring a check engine light that's already on. Your check engine light has been on for a week. You figure it's nothing serious because the car runs fine. You pull into the station and refuel normally. But here's the issue. If that light is on for an EVAP code, a purge valve stuck open, or a vent solenoid failure, refueling can make the problem exponentially worse. A stuck open purge valve means your charcoal canister is already struggling. When you refuel, vapor flows the wrong direction. Liquid fuel gets pushed where only vapor should go. What started as a $200 purge valve replacement becomes a $900 charcoal canister job because you kept refueling with a known fault. I had a customer with a Mazda 3, check engine light on, code P0455, large evap leak. He ignored it for 2 months and kept driving, kept refueling. By the time he brought it in, the canister was soaked, the vent valve was stuck, and fuel vapors were getting into the cabin. Total repair was $1,300. Get the light diagnosed before your next fill-up. A $100 diagnostic today prevents a $1,000 repair tomorrow. Mistake number 4, refueling immediately after using fuel system additives incorrectly. You pour a bottle of injector cleaner into your tank at home, then drive straight to the gas station and fill up. The problem is concentration and mixing. Most additives are designed to treat a nearly full tank. When you add them to an almost empty tank, they sit in concentrated form at the bottom. Then you blast 15 gallons of fuel on top at high speed. That turbulent mixing creates foam. The foam traps air bubbles. Those bubbles move through your fuel system and confuse the fuel pressure sensor. Some high-pressure direct injection systems are sensitive enough that they'll throw a fuel pressure fault from aerated fuel. You get a check engine light, rough idle, and reduced power, all from bad additive timing. The correct method is adding the cleaner to a nearly full tank just before your next drive. Let it mix naturally as you drive. That's when it activates and works properly. Or add it to an empty tank, then fill immediately so the fuel mixes it thoroughly from the start. Mistake number 3, not checking your tire pressure while you're at the pump. You're standing there for 3 to 5 minutes while fuel pumps. Most people stare at their phone or watch the dollar amount climb. But you're wasting the perfect opportunity to check the one thing that affects your safety, fuel economy, and tire life. Underinflated tires create excess heat from sidewall flexing. That heat accelerates tread wear and increases the risk of a blowout, especially in summer or on long highway drives. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, only 19% of drivers maintain proper tire pressure. The other 81% are driving on tires that are slowly destroying themselves. I've seen it dozens of times. A customer refuels twice a week for 6 months, never checks tire pressure. Then a rear tire blows at highway speed because it's been running at 24 PSY when it should be 35. A $150 tire, a tow truck, and the trauma of a highway blowout, all preventable. Keep a tire gauge in your car. Every time you refuel, walk around and check. Take 60 seconds. Could save your life. Mistake number 2, choosing the cheapest station without checking the pump condition. You hunt down the station that's 10 cents cheaper per gallon. You pull up to a pump that looks like it hasn't been maintained since 2005. Cracked hose, rusty nozzle, keypad covered in grime. You're saving $3 on the fill-up, but you're about to spend $300 on the repair. Old pumps with worn seals leak debris into the fuel stream. Cracked hoses shed rubber particles. Corroded nozzles flake rust. All of that goes straight into your tank. Your fuel filter catches most of it, but the filter loads up fast. Your pump works harder against that restriction. And the finest particles, the ones under 5 microns, they slip through and reach your injectors. I rebuilt an injector system on a Ford F-150 last month. All 4 injectors were clogged with black gummy deposits and rubber fragments. The owner admitted he always used the same cheap corner station with old equipment. The injector cleaning and replacement was $1,800. Pay attention to pump condition, not just price. A clean, well-maintained station is worth the extra $2. Mistake number 1, not turning off your engine and waiting before opening the fuel cap. This is the most common and most damaging mistake. You pull up to the pump, leave the engine idling so the AC or heat stays on, pop the fuel door, twist the cap, and start pumping. You've just created 3 problems at once. First, an idling engine means live ignition, alternator sparks, and hot exhaust. Gasoline vapor is heavier than air. It sinks and lingers. An electrical arc at the wrong moment can ignite vapors. Fire codes exist for a reason. Second, modern cars run EVAP self-checks with the engine on. When you open the fuel cap while idling, the system detects a massive pressure loss. It logs a fault. Your check engine light comes on for what looks like a vapor leak, but it's just sensor confusion. Third, when the fuel cap is pressurized from heat and you twist it open fast while the engine is running, you're forcing vapor back through vent lines that are actively being purged. That can push liquid fuel into the charcoal canister. Always turn the engine completely off. Wait 10 seconds for the fuel system to stabilize. Then slowly twist the cap until you hear a slight hiss. Wait 2 seconds. Then remove it fully. This simple sequence prevents vapor contamination, false codes, and fire risk. There you have it. 8 mistakes that seem harmless, but cost you hundreds in repairs you'll never connect back to refueling. If this saved you from even one check engine light or one fuel pump replacement, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to know which gas brands are quietly destroying engines, that video is next.